You're walking through a small village at twilight. The sky above you holds the last traces of daylight. The air is cool and still. You can hear the soft rustle of leaves in the distance. The village is quiet now. Most people have gone inside for the evening. A few lights glow in the windows of old houses. The streets are empty and peaceful. You walk slowly along the dirt path that winds through the centre of the village. Your footsteps are soft and steady. The ground beneath you is packed earth, smooth from years of people walking this same route. You notice how the shadows grow longer as the light fades. Everything feels calm and unhurried. There is no need to rush. You have all the time in the world. As you continue walking, you notice something at the edge of the village square. It is an old stone well. The well sits alone in a small clearing. Tall grass grows around its base. The stones that form the well are dark with age. They are covered in moss and lichen. You can see that the well has been here for a very long time, perhaps longer than anyone in the village can remember. You walk closer to the well. Your curiosity is gentle and quiet. You're not afraid. You simply want to see what this old structure looks like up close. As you approach, you notice that the well has no roof or covering. It is open to the sky. The opening is round and dark. You cannot see the bottom from where you stand. The stones of the well are rough under your fingertips when you reach out to touch them. They're cool and damp. You can feel the texture of the moss. It is soft and slightly slippery. You run your hand along the edge of the well. The stone is worn smooth in some places. Many hands have touched this spot over the years. You lean forward slightly and look down into the well. The darkness below is complete. You cannot see water or the bottom. The well seems to go down forever. You feel a gentle breeze rise up from the depths. It touches your face softly. The air from the well is cool and carries a faint scent. You cannot quite identify what the scent is. It reminds you of old earth and stone and something else, something ancient. You straighten up and look around the village square. Everything is still quiet. The houses nearby have warm lights in their windows. You can see the outline of trees against the darkening sky. The village feels safe and familiar. Yet this well seems different somehow. It feels separate from everything else. It has its own presence. Its own quiet energy. You decide to sit on the edge of the well. The stone is wide enough to make a comfortable seat. You settle yourself carefully. Your feet dangle above the ground. You can feel the coolness of the stone through your clothes. It is not uncomfortable. It is actually quite pleasant after your walk. You sit quietly and let yourself relax. You listen to the sounds of the evening. Birds are settling in for the night. Their calls are soft and intermittent. A dog barks once in the distance, then silence returns. As you sit there, you begin to notice something. The well seems to have a presence. It is as if the well is aware of you sitting on its edge. This thought does not frighten you, it simply makes you more curious. You wonder about the history of this well. You wonder who built it and when. You wonder how many people have drawn water from its depths over the centuries. The light continues to fade. The sky shifts from pale blue to deeper shades of purple and grey. Stars begin to appear one by one. You tilt your head back and watch them emerge. The first star is always the brightest. You focus on it for a moment. Then you look back down at the well. The darkness within seems even darker now that night is falling. You think about the title of this story, how the old well became a portal for the damned. It is a strange phrase, a mysterious phrase. You wonder what it means. What could make a simple village well into something more? You let the question drift through your mind without trying to force an answer. Sometimes mysteries are meant to remain mysteries. Sometimes the not knowing is more interesting than the knowing. You imagine the village many years ago, perhaps hundreds of years ago. The well would have been new then. The stones would have been clean and pale. The moss would not have grown yet. Villagers would have come to the well every day. They would have lowered their buckets on ropes. They would have drawn up cool, fresh water. They would have carried it home in jugs and pails. The well would have been the heart of the village, a gathering place, a vital source of life. You picture people meeting at the well. Women would come in the morning to draw water for their households. They would talk to each other. They would share news and gossip. Children would run around the well playing games. Men would stop by on their way to the fields. The well would have seen countless faces over the years. It would have heard countless conversations. All the joys and sorrows of village life would have passed by this spot. But something changed. That is what the legend suggests. Something happened to transform this ordinary well into something else, into a portal. You consider what that might mean. A portal is a doorway, a passage from one place to another. The legend speaks of the damned, those who are lost, those who are condemned, those who cannot find peace. You let these thoughts drift through your mind like clouds. You do not hold on to them too tightly. You simply observe them and let them pass. The stone beneath you is solid and real. The night air is gentle on your skin. You are here in this moment, safe and calm. You hear a soft sound from somewhere in the village. It might be a door closing. It might be the wind. The sound fades quickly. Silence returns. The well beside you is quiet. You place your hand on the stone again. You feel the coolness, the solidity, the age. This well has been here through countless seasons, through hot summers and cold winters, through rain and drought, through times of peace and times of trouble. You wonder when people stopped using the well. You notice that there is no bucket here now, no rope, no way to draw water. The well appears abandoned, yet it is not forgotten. Someone must tend to the grass around it occasionally. Someone must remember that it is here. Perhaps the villagers avoid it now. Perhaps there is a reason they no longer come here to draw water. The legend says the well became a portal. You think about when this might have happened. Was there a specific moment, a specific event? Or did the change occur gradually over time? Perhaps the well simply grew older and stranger. Perhaps it absorbed something from all the years it stood here, all the lives that touched it, all the secrets that were whispered nearby. You imagine a night long ago, a night much like this one, dark and calm and quiet. Perhaps someone came to the well seeking something. Perhaps they came with a question, or a need, or a desperate wish. Perhaps they looked down into that dark opening and called out. Perhaps something answered. You do not feel frightened by these thoughts. They are simply part of the mystery, part of the story that has grown around this place. Every old structure has stories. Every ancient thing accumulates legends and myths. This is natural. This is how humans make sense of the world around them. They tell stories. They create meaning. You look up at the sky again. More stars have appeared. The night is fully here now. The darkness is complete except for the stars above and the distant house lights. You feel very small sitting here under the vast sky. The well beside you feels small too, just a circle of old stones, yet the legend gives it power. The legend makes it significant. You think about the word damned. It is a heavy word, a serious word. It speaks of judgment and punishment, of eternal suffering, of souls that cannot rest. You wonder why this particular word was chosen for the legend. Why not lost? Why not wandering? Why damned specifically? Perhaps the legend arose from religious beliefs. The village might have been very religious in the past. The people might have feared damnation. They might have believed that certain actions led to eternal punishment. Perhaps someone from the village did something terrible. Perhaps they were judged by the community. Perhaps the well became associated with that person, with that sin, with that condemnation. Or perhaps the word damned simply means cursed, caught in a bad fate, unable to escape. There are many ways to be damned, many ways to be trapped. You do not have to believe in traditional religious damnation to understand the feeling of being stuck, of being unable to move forward, of being caught in a pattern you cannot break. You shift your position slightly on the well edge. The stone is getting cooler as the night deepens, but you're not uncomfortable. You are relaxed. Your breathing is slow and steady. You feel the gentle rhythm of your own breath. In and out, like waves on a shore, like wind through trees. Your body is calm. Your mind is quiet. You return your attention to the well. You look down into the darkness once more. It is impossible to see anything down there. The darkness is absolute. You could drop a stone and listen for it to hit the bottom, but you do not do this. You prefer to let the mystery remain. You prefer not to disturb the silence. You wonder if there really is water at the bottom of the well, or if the well has gone dry over the years. Wells can dry up when the water table drops, when there is not enough rain, when the underground streams that feed them shift their course. A dry well is just a deep hole in the ground, still dangerous if you fall in, but no longer useful for its original purpose. Yet this well does not feel empty, even though you cannot see the bottom, even though you cannot hear water. the well feels full of something. Presence, energy, history. All these things seem to gather in the darkness below. You can almost sense them, like a weight, like a pressure in the air. You close your eyes for a moment. You focus on your other senses. You can hear the night sounds more clearly now. Crickets are chirping in the grass. Their song is rhythmic and constant. It forms a backdrop to the silence. You can hear the slight rustle of leaves when a breeze passes through. You can hear your own breathing, the soft in and out of air through your nose. You open your eyes again. The world looks the same, dark and peaceful. The well is still beside you, solid and real. You place both hands on the stone edge. You feel grounded, connected to this place. You are here in this moment, fully present, fully aware. The legend of the well as a portal might have started with someone's dream. Dreams can feel very real, especially the vivid ones, the ones that stay with you after you wake. Perhaps someone in the village had a dream about the well, a dream in which they fell into the well and found themselves in another place, a strange place, a frightening place, a place where the damned gathered. When we dream, our minds create entire worlds. These worlds can seem as real as the waking world while we are in them. We can see details, we can feel emotions, we can hear sounds and smell scents. Only when we wake do we realize it was not real. But the memory of the dream remains, and sometimes the dream feels more significant than ordinary reality. Sometimes the dream feels like a message, a warning, a glimpse of something hidden. If someone had such a dream about the well, they might have told others. The story of the dream would spread through the village. As it spread, it would change. Details would be added, details would be lost. The story would take on a life of its own. Eventually, people might begin to believe that the dream reflected something true about the well, that the well really was a portal, that the danger was real. This is how legends grow. They start with a seed, a small event, a dream, a coincidence, an unexplained occurrence. Then people tell the story, and retell it, and change it, and embellish it, until the legend becomes part of the community's shared knowledge, part of its identity. The legend becomes more important than the original event. The legend becomes the truth. You think about this process, how stories evolve, how they spread, how they change. It is fascinating. Humans are story-making creatures. We cannot help ourselves. We see patterns everywhere. We create narratives to explain the world. This is how we understand our lives. This is how we make meaning. The well sits quietly beside you. It does not care about legends. It does not care about stories. It simply exists. Stone and darkness, age and weight. It was built for a purpose, to provide water. That was its function. That was its meaning. Everything else is what humans have added. Everything else is interpretation. Yet you cannot shake the feeling that the well does have some kind of awareness, some kind of presence beyond just being a pile of old stones. Perhaps this feeling comes from the atmosphere of the place, the isolation, the age, the mystery. Perhaps it comes from your own imagination, your mind filling in the blanks, creating significance where there might be none. Or perhaps places really do accumulate energy over time. Perhaps the well has absorbed something from all the years it has stood here, all the people who have come to it, all the emotions that have been felt near it, joy and sorrow, hope and despair, fear and relief. Perhaps all of this has soaked into the stones. Perhaps the well holds memories that are not its own. You do not know the answer. You cannot know, but it is pleasant to wonder. It is soothing to let these thoughts drift through your mind. They are like clouds moving across the sky. They come and they go. You do not need to hold on to them. You do not need to solve the mystery. You can simply be here, simply sit, simply breathe. The night grows deeper. Time passes slowly. You have no sense of urgency. You're content to remain here at the well for as long as you wish. There is nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else you need to do. This moment is complete in itself. This moment is enough. You think about other wells you've seen, wells in other villages, wells in other places. Some had roofs over them, little shelters to keep rain and debris from falling in. Some had buckets attached to chains or ropes. Some had cranks to make drawing water easier. Each well was different. Each had its own character, its own features, yet they all served the same basic purpose: to bring water up from deep in the earth. Water is essential for life. Without water, no village can survive. Without water, crops will not grow, animals will die, people will die. So wells are precious things. They are the difference between life and death in many places. They are to be honoured, protected, maintained. The people who build wells are performing a vital service. They are creating life for their community. This makes the legend of the well as a portal even more interesting. A structure that brings life is transformed into something associated with death and damnation. It is a reversal, a corruption, a pollution of something pure. Perhaps that is part of the horror of the legend. Not just that the well became dangerous, but that something life-giving became associated with suffering and loss. You wonder what might have caused such a transformation in the minds of the villagers. What event could have been powerful enough to change how they viewed the well? There must have been something, some incident, some discovery. Something that made people afraid of this place. Perhaps someone drowned in the well. That would be a tragedy, a terrible accident, or maybe not an accident. Maybe someone jumped into the well deliberately, someone who wanted to end their life, someone who saw the dark opening and chose to fall into that darkness. Such an event would leave a mark on the community. It would change how people felt about the well. From that point on, the well would be associated with death, with loss, with despair. Or perhaps something was found in the water, something disturbing, something that should not have been there, a body perhaps, or remains of some kind. Or maybe the water itself changed. Maybe it became foul. Maybe it made people sick. Maybe animals that drank from it died. These kinds of events would make people suspicious of the well. They would stop using it. They would begin to see it as cursed. Another possibility is that the legend grew from superstition rather than any actual event. People in isolated villages often developed elaborate belief systems. They saw signs and omens in ordinary things. They believed in spirits and demons. They believed that certain places were haunted or cursed. A well that was particularly deep or dark might naturally attract such beliefs. People might avoid it simply because it looked frightening, because it felt wrong. The legend might have grown from these feelings without any specific cause. You shift your weight on the stone edge. Your legs are getting a little stiff from sitting in one position. You stretch them out. You flex your feet. The movement feels good. Your body is reminding you that you are physical as well as mental. That you exist in a body that has needs and sensations. You're not just thoughts, not just imagination. You're also muscle and bone and blood. You're also here in the real world. The well beside you is also physical. It is not just a symbol or a story. It is real stone, real darkness, real depth. Whatever legends have grown up around it, the well itself remains what it is. A structure built by human hands, a hole lined with stones, a shaft descending into the earth. These are facts. These are realities that exist independent of stories. Yet the stories affect how we experience the well. They shape our perception. They influence our feelings. If you knew nothing about the legend, you would see the well differently. You might see it as just an old abandoned well. Interesting but not mysterious. Aged but not haunted. The knowledge of the legend changes your experience. It adds layers of meaning. It creates atmosphere. This is the power of stories. They transform our reality. They make us see things that might not be there, or they reveal things that were always there but we never noticed. Stories are like lenses. They focus our attention. They highlight certain aspects and obscure others. They guide our interpretation. You look at the well with fresh eyes. You try to see it without the lens of the legend. Just stones, just darkness, just an old structure. It is still impressive. The craftsmanship that went into building it is evident. Someone had to choose these stones, had to shape them or find stones that were already the right shape, had to stack them carefully so they would not collapse, had to dig deep into the earth. This was hard work. Skilled work. The well is a testament to human effort and ingenuity. The people who built this well are long dead now. Their names are forgotten. But their work remains. The stones they placed are still here, still standing, still marking this spot. There is something beautiful about that. Something that makes you feel connected to those long ago builders. You're both part of the same human story, separated by time, but joined by this place. You wonder what those builders would think of the legend. Would they be amused, offended, confused? They built the well to serve the village, to make life better. They could not have imagined that their creation would one day be feared, would be seen as a portal for the damned. Life is strange that way. Things turn out differently than we plan. Meanings change, purposes shift. What we intend is not always what happens. The night air is growing cooler. You can feel it more now. The chill is starting to seep through your clothes. But it is not unpleasant. It is just a reminder that seasons exist, that time is passing, that the earth is cooling as it turns away from the sun. You're part of this natural cycle. You're part of the rhythm of day and night, light and dark, warm and cool. You look around the village square once more. The lights in the windows are fewer now. People are going to bed. The village is settling down for the night. Soon you'll be the only one awake, the only one out here in the darkness. Just you and the well, just you and the mystery. But you do not feel lonely. Solitude is different from loneliness. Solitude is a choice. It is peaceful. It is restorative. You have chosen to be here. To sit at this well, to think these thoughts, to experience this moment, and it feels right. It feels exactly where you should be. You close your eyes again, you take a deep breath, you hold it for a moment, then you release it slowly. The air flows out of you smoothly. You feel your shoulders drop. You feel tension leaving your body. You're releasing whatever stress or worry you might have been carrying. You're letting it go into the night air. You're becoming lighter, freer, more relaxed. When you open your eyes, everything looks softer somehow. The edges of things are less distinct. The darkness is more welcoming. The well seems less like a mystery and more like an old friend. You've been sitting here long enough that you've become comfortable with it, familiar with it. The strangeness has faded. What remains is just an old well, an old structure, an old presence. You think about the concept of a portal. In stories, portals lead to other worlds, other dimensions, other realities. They are doorways that allow you to step from one place to another. Sometimes these other places are wonderful, magical realms full of beauty and adventure, but sometimes they are terrible. Dark places, places of suffering, places you cannot escape from once you enter. The legend says this well is a portal for the damned. Not just any portal, not a neutral doorway, but specifically a passage for those who are condemned. This suggests that the portal only opens for certain people. Only those who are damned can pass through it. Or perhaps it means that anyone who passes through it becomes damned. The wording is ambiguous. The legend is not clear. But legends are rarely clear. That is part of their nature. They are meant to be mysterious. They are meant to make you wonder. They are meant to stay in your mind and haunt you just a little. A good legend leaves questions unanswered. It leaves room for interpretation. It allows each person who hears it to imagine their own version, their own meaning. You wonder if anyone has ever claimed to see someone disappear into the well. That would be the most direct evidence that it is a portal. If a person walked up to the well and simply vanished, or if someone fell in and their body was never found, that would fuel the legend. That would make people believe. Perhaps something like that did happen. Perhaps someone did disappear, and the villagers searched the well but found nothing. No body, no remains. Nothing to explain where the person had gone. In the absence of evidence, the mind fills in the blanks. The mind creates explanations, and in a superstitious community, the explanation might involve magic, might involve portals, might involve the damned, or perhaps the legend has no basis in any real event. Perhaps it was invented entirely, made up as a cautionary tale, to keep children away from the well, to prevent accidents. Parents might have told their children that the well was a portal for the damned, that anyone who got too close might be pulled in, might be taken to the place where the damned suffer. This would be an effective way to create fear, to ensure that children stayed away from the dangerous deep hole. Over time, the cautionary tale might have been forgotten as such. The story might have been passed down without the context. New generations might have heard the legend and believed it was based on truth. They might have added their own details, their own interpretations, until the legend became established, until it became part of the village's history. This is how many legends and myths originate. They start as practical teachings, as ways to encode important information. Stay away from the well. Do not go into the forest. Beware of strangers. These lessons are wrapped in stories to make them memorable, to give them emotional weight. But over time, the practical origin is lost. The story becomes literal. The metaphor becomes reality. You find this process fascinating. The way humans use stories, the way stories evolve, the way meaning shifts and changes across generations. It speaks to something deep in human nature, our need for narrative, our need for explanation, our need to understand the world and our place in it. The well remains still beside you, silent and patient. It has witnessed all these changes in human thought, all these evolutions of the legend. It has heard countless conversations about itself. It knows what people say and think and fear, yet it reveals nothing. It keeps its secrets. If it is truly a portal, it does not advertise this fact. If it truly leads to the place of the damned, it gives no sign. You lean forward once more and peer into the darkness. You still cannot see the bottom. The well keeps its depths hidden. You could get a flashlight and shine it down there. You could probably see the bottom then. See if there is water. See how deep it really goes. But you do not do this. You prefer the mystery. You prefer not to know. Some things are better left unexplored. Some questions are better left unanswered. There is something satisfying about accepting mystery, about not needing to know everything. Modern life often demands explanations, demands proof, demands evidence. But there is value in allowing some things to remain unknown, in accepting that we cannot understand everything, that some experiences are beyond explanation, that some places hold secrets we are not meant to uncover. The well is such a place. You could investigate it thoroughly. You could measure its depth. You could test its water if there is any. You could examine every stone. You could probably determine with reasonable certainty whether there is anything unusual about it. But doing so would strip away the magic, would remove the mystery, would turn it into just another well, just another hole in the ground. By choosing not to investigate too deeply, you allow the well to remain special. You allow it to keep its aura of mystery. You allow the legend to live. There is wisdom in this restraint. There is beauty in accepting that not everything needs to be explained or understood. Some things are meant to simply be experienced, to be felt rather than analysed. You sit back and look up at the sky again. The stars are brilliant now. Without city lights to compete with them, they shine with full intensity. You can see thousands of them, maybe millions. They form patterns and swirls across the darkness. The Milky Way is visible as a pale band stretching across the heavens. It is breathtaking. It is humbling. Those stars are unimaginably far away. The light you're seeing left those stars years ago, decades ago, centuries ago. Some of those stars might not even exist anymore. They might have died long ago, but their light continues to travel through space, continues to reach your eyes. You're seeing the past. You're looking at history written in light. This makes you think about time, about how we exist in the present moment, but are constantly surrounded by echoes of the past. The well beside you is such an echo. It was built in the past. It contains the past. Yet it exists here in the present. It bridges time. In a way, perhaps that is what makes it a portal. Not a portal to another dimension, but a portal to another time, the past reaching into the present. When you touch the stones of the well, you are touching the same stones that people touched hundreds of years ago. Your hand rests where their hands rested. You share this physical connection across the centuries. This is profound when you think about it. The well creates continuity. It connects all the people who have ever stood in this spot, all the people who have ever touched these stones, all the people who have ever looked down into this darkness. Perhaps the damned that the legend speaks of are not supernatural beings. Perhaps they are simply the people of the past, the dead, those who have lived and gone. Perhaps the well is a portal that allows us to feel their presence, to sense their lives, to remember that we are not the first to walk this earth, that countless others came before us, that countless others will come after us. This interpretation gives the legend a different meaning, a less frightening meaning. The well becomes a memorial, a reminder of mortality, a connection to those who have passed. When you look into the well, you are looking into the past. You are acknowledging the dead. You are honouring their memory. The darkness of the well represents the unknown, the mystery of death, the place we all must eventually go. Seen this way, the well is not threatening. It is simply honest. It reminds us that life is temporary, that we are mortal, that someday we too will be among the damned, among the dead, among those who are remembered only in stories and legends. This is not a comfortable thought, but it is not a frightening one either. It is simply true. It is part of the human condition. You feel a sense of peace settling over you as you sit with these thoughts. The well no longer seems ominous. It seems wise. It seems like a teacher. It has lessons to offer if you're willing to listen. Lessons about time and mortality, about memory and loss, about the connections that bind all humans together across the ages. The village around you is completely quiet now. All the lights have gone out. Everyone is asleep. You are truly alone here. Just you and the well and the stars above. This moment feels sacred somehow. Special. You're glad you chose to come here. Glad you chose to sit and think and wonder. This has been time well spent. You think about how you will eventually have to leave this spot. You will have to stand up and walk away. You will return to your own bed, your own life. But you will carry this experience with you. You will remember this night, this well, these thoughts. They will become part of your own story, part of your own history. And perhaps one day, years from now, you will tell someone about this night, about the old well and the legend surrounding it. You will become part of the chain of storytelling, part of the tradition that keeps the legend alive. Your telling will add to the story, will change it slightly, will pass it on to the next generation, and so the legend will continue. It will evolve. It will remain alive as long as people continue to tell it. This is how legends survive, through retelling, through being passed from person to person, from generation to generation. Each teller adds something. Each listener receives something. The legend becomes a living thing. It grows and changes. It adapts to new times and new audiences, but at its core it remains the same. The old well, the darkness, the mystery. You wonder how the legend will sound 100 years from now. What details will have changed? What new elements will have been added? Will people still come to this well? Will they still sit on its edge and wonder about its secrets? Or will the well be forgotten? Will it fall into ruin? Will the stones crumble? Will the opening become choked with debris and earth until it is no longer visible? Nothing lasts forever. Even stones eventually wear away. Even deep wells eventually fill in. The physical structure of the well will not survive indefinitely, but perhaps the legend will. Perhaps the story will outlive the well itself. Perhaps people will tell the tale of the old well even after there is no well left to see. The story will become pure myth then, pure imagination, disconnected from any physical reality, but still alive in human minds and hearts. There is something beautiful about this possibility, the idea that a story can transcend its origins, can continue to exist even after the thing it describes has vanished. Stories are more durable than stone in that way. Stories can be copied and shared and preserved. They can travel across distances and times that physical objects cannot traverse. A story can be everywhere at once, can exist in thousands of minds simultaneously, can continue forever as long as humans continue to tell stories. You feel grateful to be part of this tradition, part of this long chain of storytellers. You may not know the original source of the legend. You may not know all the people who have told it before you, but you are connected to them. You are part of the same process, the same human need to make meaning through narrative. The night is deep now. You've been sitting here for a long time. How long exactly, you're not sure. Time has passed in a strange way. It feels like you have been here for minutes and for hours simultaneously. This happens sometimes when you are deep in thought, when you are fully present in a moment. Time becomes elastic. It stretches and contracts. It loses its normal meaning. You're starting to feel sleepy now. The stillness of the night is having its effect. The coolness of the air, the darkness, the stars, the peaceful quiet. Your eyelids are growing heavy. Your thoughts are becoming softer, less focused. They drift like boats on calm water. You're not directing them anymore. You're simply observing them float by. This is a pleasant state to be in, the boundary between waking and sleeping, the liminal space where thoughts become dreams, where reality and imagination blend together. You're still aware of the well beside you, still aware of the stones beneath you, but these sensations are becoming distant, muffled, like they are happening to someone else, like you're watching yourself from far away. You think about staying here, about letting yourself fall asleep right here on the edge of the well. It would be peaceful. The night is not too cold. You could sleep under the stars. You could dream here beside the ancient stones. Perhaps your dreams would be influenced by the place. Perhaps you would dream about the well, about its history, about the people who came before. Perhaps you would dream about portals and other worlds. But you know you cannot actually fall asleep here. It would not be safe. You might lose your balance, might fall. The well is deep and dark. You do not want to become part of its legend. Do not want to become the person who disappeared into the well, who became one of the damned. So you shake yourself gently, you blink your eyes, you take a deep breath of the cool night air, you bring yourself back to full awareness. You feel the stone beneath you, you feel your weight, you feel your body. You are here, you are awake, you are safe. You decide it is time to go, time to leave the well, time to return to the village, to find a proper place to sleep, a warm bed, a soft pillow. You need rest. Real rest. Not the half-sleep you were drifting into just now. Tomorrow will come soon enough. Tomorrow will bring its own experiences and challenges, but tonight is for rest. Tonight is for restoration. You stand up slowly. Your legs are stiff from sitting. You stretch them carefully. You flex your knees. The blood flows back into your limbs. Sensation returns. You take a few steps away from the well. You look back at it one more time. It sits there in the darkness, silent, patient, mysterious, just as it has always been, just as it will continue to be. You think about saying goodbye to the well. It seems appropriate somehow. You have spent this time with it. You have thought about it deeply. It seems right to acknowledge this, to mark the end of this encounter, but you do not speak out loud. You simply nod once, a gesture of respect, of thanks, of farewell. Then you turn and begin walking back toward the village. Your steps are slow and measured. There is no hurry. The night is still deep. You have time. You walk along the dirt path, the same path you walked to get here, but it feels different now. Walking away feels different from walking toward. The journey back is never quite the same as the journey there. You look up at the stars as you walk. They guide you. They light your way. Not with much illumination, but with enough. You can see the path beneath your feet. You can see the shapes of buildings ahead. You move through the darkness with confidence, with trust. You know you will find your way. The village is silent around you. Everyone is deep in their dreams. What are they dreaming about? What stories are playing out in their sleeping minds? You will never know. Dreams are private. Each person's interior world is inaccessible to others. We can only imagine what others experience. We can only guess based on what they choose to share. You wonder if anyone in the village is dreaming about the well. Perhaps someone dreams of falling into it. Perhaps someone dreams of looking down and seeing faces staring back up. Perhaps someone dreams of voices calling from the depths. These would be unsettling dreams, the kind you wake from with relief. Grateful to find yourself safe in your bed. Grateful to discover it was only a dream. Or perhaps someone is dreaming a beautiful dream about the well. Perhaps in their dream the well is full of clear, sweet water. Perhaps they dream of lowering a bucket and drawing up water that sparkles in the sunlight. Perhaps in their dream the well is what it was meant to be, a source of life, a gift to the community, a reason for gratitude. Dreams can transform things, can show us different versions of reality. In dreams, a well can be anything, can mean anything. This is the power of the unconscious mind. It takes the raw material of our daily lives and reshapes it, creates new meanings, new associations, new possibilities. Dreams are the ultimate storytellers. They create narratives that our waking minds could never conceive. You continue walking through the village. You pass houses where people sleep. You pass gardens and fences and trees. Everything is familiar and yet strange in the darkness. The ordinary becomes mysterious at night. Shapes that you would recognize immediately in daylight become ambiguous. Your mind has to work harder to make sense of what you see, or rather what you barely see. This is another kind of portal, perhaps. The transition from day to night. The transformation of the familiar world into something different, something less certain. Night is when the boundaries blur, when the rules seem less fixed. When imagination has more room to operate. No wonder humans have always told stories about the night, about the things that happen when the sun goes down, about the creatures and spirits that emerge in darkness. But you do not feel afraid walking through this nighttime village. You feel calm, peaceful. The The darkness is not threatening. It is simply the absence of light. It is natural. It is necessary. Without night, we could not appreciate day. Without darkness, we could not see the stars. Everything has its place. Everything has its purpose. You think about the well again. You cannot help it. The well has captured your imagination. It will stay with you. You will think about it again and again in the days to come. You will wonder about its secrets. You will ponder its legend. You will try to understand what it means, what it represents. What it has to teach you. Perhaps the well represents the unknown parts of ourselves, the depths we cannot see, the aspects of our own minds and hearts that remain mysterious to us. We all have depths. We all have darkness within us. Not evil darkness necessarily, just the unknown, the unexplored, the parts of ourselves we have not yet examined, the feelings and thoughts and memories that lie beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. In this interpretation, the portal leads inward rather than outward. It leads to the interior landscape of the self, and the damned might be the parts of ourselves we have rejected, the aspects we do not want to acknowledge, the shadows we try to ignore, but they are still there, still part of us, still calling out from the depths, still waiting to be acknowledged and integrated. This is deep psychological territory, the kind of thing that requires serious reflection. Perhaps the well is inviting you to do that work, to look into your own depths, to explore your own interior darkness, not with fear, but with curiosity, with compassion, with a willingness to accept all parts of yourself, both the light and the dark, both the known and the unknown. You are approaching the place where you will sleep tonight. You can see it ahead. A small house, a simple dwelling. You have a room here, a bed waiting for you. You feel grateful for this, grateful for shelter, for safety, for a place to rest your body and mind. These are basic needs, basic comforts, but they are precious nonetheless. You reach the door of the house. You open it quietly. You do not want to wake anyone. You slip inside. The interior is dark but familiar. You know the layout. You make your way to your room without needing light. Your feet remember the path. Your hands find the door. You enter your room and close the door softly behind you. The room is small and simple. A bed, a chair, a small table, a window that looks out onto the village. You move to the window and look out. From here, you cannot see the well. It is hidden behind other buildings, but you know it is there. You can picture it clearly in your mind, the stones, the darkness, the mystery. You will return to it someday, not tomorrow probably, but someday. When the urge strikes you, when you need to think, when you need to sit in the presence of something ancient and mysterious, the well will be there. It is not going anywhere. It will wait for you. It has patience that spans centuries. It can certainly wait for you. You turn away from the window and move to the bed. You sit down on the edge of the mattress. It is softer than the stone of the well, more comfortable. You feel your body relax into it. You let out a long, slow breath. The kind of breath that releases tension you did not even know you were holding. Your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches, your whole body begins to settle. You lie back on the bed. You do not bother to remove your clothes. You're too tired, too ready for sleep. You simply lie there in the darkness. You feel the pillow beneath your head. You feel the blanket waiting to be pulled over you. But you do not move yet. You simply lie there and breathe. In and out, slow and steady. Your mind is still thinking about the well, about the legend, about all the thoughts and ideas that have passed through your consciousness tonight. But the thoughts are becoming quieter now, less insistent. They are fading like echoes, like voices heard from far away. You can still perceive them, but they no longer demand your full attention. You think about the concept of the damned once more. You think about what it means to be damned, to be condemned, to be lost. In religious terms, it means eternal punishment, eternal separation from grace and goodness. It is the worst fate imaginable, the ultimate tragedy, to be forever trapped in suffering, forever denied peace and rest. But perhaps being damned does not have to mean that. Perhaps it can mean something else. Perhaps it can mean being stuck, being unable to move forward, being caught in patterns that do not serve you. Being trapped by your own choices, by your own fears, by your own refusals to change or grow. This kind of damnation is not supernatural. It is psychological. It is all too human. And if that is what the well represents, then perhaps the portal offers a way out. Perhaps passing through the portal means confronting your demons, facing your shadows, acknowledging your depths, and coming out the other side transformed. Perhaps the well is not a place of punishment, but a place of initiation, a place where you are tested, where you must prove your courage and your willingness to face the truth about yourself. This is a more hopeful interpretation. It suggests that even the damned can be redeemed, can be freed, can be transformed. The portal is not a one-way entrance to eternal suffering. It is a passage, a transition, a doorway that leads somewhere, and what lies on the other side depends on you, on your willingness to make the journey, on your courage to look into the darkness. These thoughts comfort you. They give you a sense of possibility, of potential, of hope. The well is no longer frightening, it is challenging, it is mysterious, but it is not evil. It is simply there, waiting for those who are brave enough to approach it, who are willing to look into their own depths, who are ready to face whatever they find there. You pull the blanket over yourself, you adjust the pillow slightly, you find a comfortable position. Your body is heavy now, deeply relaxed, ready for sleep. Your breathing has slowed even more. Each breath is deep and full. Each exhalation is complete. You are letting go, releasing the day, releasing your thoughts, releasing everything. The well sits in the village square, silent in the darkness. The stars shine above it. The earth holds it. Time flows around it. It has been there for so long. It will be there long after you are gone. This gives you a strange sense of comfort. The idea that some things persist, some things endure, some things outlast individual human lives. You are just one person, one small life in the vast expanse of human history. You will live for a while. You will have your experiences. You will tell your stories, and then you will pass away. You will become part of the past, part of the history, perhaps part of someone else's story, perhaps part of a legend that future generations will tell. This is not sad. This is simply how it is, how it has always been, how it will always be. We are temporary, but the stories we tell can last. The connections we make can endure. The meaning we create can transcend our individual existence. This is our legacy as humans, not monuments or possessions, but stories and meaning and love. The well knows this. It has watched generations come and go. It has seen people born and people die. It has witnessed joy and sorrow, success and failure, love and loss. All the drama of human life has played out in its presence, and it remains, constant, patient, bearing witness. Perhaps that is the true purpose of the well, not to provide water, not to serve as a portal, but to bear witness, to remember, to hold the stories of all who have passed by, to be a marker of time and history, to say, here, this place, these people, these lives mattered, they were real, they existed. Do not forget them. You're drifting now, truly drifting. The edge of sleep is very close. You can feel it approaching like a gentle wave. It will wash over you soon. It will carry you away into dreams, into rest, into the darkness that is not frightening but welcoming. The darkness that brings restoration, that brings peace. Your last conscious thoughts are of the well, of the stones and the darkness, of the legend and the mystery. You send a blessing to the well, a wish for its continued existence, for its continued witness, for its continued presence in the village. May it stand for many more years. May it hold its stories. May it remain a place of wonder and contemplation. And then sleep takes you. Your consciousness fades. Your thoughts dissolve. You slip into the deep rest that your body and mind have been craving. The world around you continues. The stars continue to shine. The earth continues to turn. The well continues to sit in the village square. But you are no longer aware of these things. You are gone into sleep, into dreams, into the restorative darkness. Your breathing is deep, and even now, your body is completely relaxed. Every muscle has released its tension. Your face is smooth and peaceful. Your hands lie still at your sides. You are the picture of deep rest, of complete surrender to sleep. This is what you needed. This is what the night offers. This is the gift of darkness. If someone were to look in on you now, they would see a person at peace. They would see someone who has let go of the day's worries and concerns, someone who has found a way to rest fully, to trust in the night, to accept the temporary dissolution of consciousness that sleep brings. You look serene, content, safe, and you are safe, here in this small room, in this quiet village, under this vast sky. The world is large and sometimes frightening, but right now, in this moment, you are protected, you are held, you are surrounded by the ordinary magic of night and rest and peace. Nothing can harm you here, nothing can disturb your sleep. The well in the village square stands silent. The darkness within it is absolute. But it is a peaceful darkness, a restful darkness, not a darkness of fear or threat, but a darkness of rest, of restoration, of the fertile void from which all things emerge and to which all things return. The well holds this darkness, guards it, preserves it, makes it available to anyone who seeks it. In your dreams, you may visit the well again. You may find yourself standing at its edge, looking down into the depths, and in the dream, you may see things you cannot see while waking. You may understand things that elude your conscious mind. Dreams have their own wisdom, their own knowledge. They can reveal what is hidden. They can answer questions we do not know how to ask. Or you may dream of something else entirely, something unrelated to the well or the village. Dreams follow their own logic, their own patterns. They are not bound by the rules of waking reality. In dreams, anything is possible. You can fly. You can breathe underwater. You can travel to places that do not exist. You can become someone you are not. Dreams are the ultimate freedom, the ultimate creative expression. Whatever you dream tonight will be exactly what you need. Your unconscious mind knows what you require. What images and stories will serve your growth. What symbols will speak to your deepest self. You can trust this process. You can surrender to it. You do not need to control or direct your dreams. They will take care of themselves. They will do their work whether you remember them in the morning or not. The village sleeps around you. Every person in every house has surrendered to the night, has allowed themselves to be carried into the realm of dreams. This is a sacred time, a time when the boundaries between self and other become less distinct, when the collective unconscious becomes more accessible, when all humans share in the common experience of sleep and dreams. You are part of this, part of the great communion of sleeping humanity. Tonight you sleep with billions of others around the world. All of you in your various beds and rooms and places, all of you breathing in rhythm, all of you dreaming your individual dreams, yet all connected by this shared experience, this nightly ritual of rest. The well has its own kind of sleep, its own kind of dreaming. It rests in the earth, held by stone and soil. It dreams of water and depth, of darkness and coolness, of the weight of years and the patience of stone. It dreams of all who have come to it, all who have touched it, all who have wondered about it. The well holds these dreams in its depths, preserves them in its darkness. There is no separation really between the well and the people, between the stone and the dreamers. Everything is connected, everything influences everything else. The well shapes the village's dreams, and the village's dreams shape the well. Each creates the other in an endless feedback loop. This is how legends are born. This is how meaning is made, through relationship, through interaction, through the constant exchange between humans and the world around them. You sink deeper into sleep, deeper into the peaceful darkness. Your breath is barely audible now, soft as a whisper. Your heartbeat is slow and steady, the rhythm of life continuing even as consciousness fades. Your body knows how to do this. Your body has done this every night of your life. Sleep is natural. Sleep is necessary. Sleep is good. The hours pass. The night deepens and then begins to lighten. Eventually dawn will come. The sun will rise. Light will return to the world. The village will wake. People will begin their daily routines. They will go about their lives. They will work and talk and laugh and worry. The ordinary concerns of living will resume, but the well will remain unchanged. It does not care about dawn or dusk, about waking or sleeping. It exists outside these rhythms. Or perhaps more accurately, it exists at a different scale. A slower rhythm. The rhythm of stone and earth, of decades and centuries. The well's time is not human time. The well's sleep is not human sleep. Yet there is a connection. There is always a connection. The well reminds the villagers of something they need to remember, of depths beneath the surface, of mysteries that cannot be solved, of the past that shapes the present, of the unknown that surrounds the known. These are important things to remember. They keep us humble, they keep us curious, they keep us aware that we do not know everything, that we cannot control everything, that some things will always remain mysterious. This is a good lesson, an important lesson. Perhaps it is the most important lesson the well has to teach, not through words or explanations, but through its simple presence, its patient existence, its quiet endurance through the ages. The well teaches by being, not by doing. This is the deepest kind of teaching, the kind that seeps into you slowly, the kind you absorb without even realizing it. You're still sleeping, still resting, still recovering from the day and preparing for the next. Sleep is doing its work, knitting up the raveled sleeve of care, as someone once wrote, healing the small damages, restoring energy, processing experiences, consolidating memories, all the miraculous work that sleep does automatically. Without any effort or intention on your part, this is one of the great mysteries of life. How so much happens without our conscious control, how our bodies breathe and digest and heal while we sleep, how our minds process and integrate and create while we dream. We are not as much in charge as we like to think. So much of what we are happens beneath our awareness, in the depths, in the darkness, in the places we cannot see. The well understands this. The well exists in that space, in the depths, in the darkness, in the unseen. It is a physical manifestation of all that lies beneath conscious awareness, all that is hidden, all that is mysterious. When you look into the well, you're looking into a mirror. You're seeing your own depths reflected back at you. This is why the well fascinates. This is why it draws people to it. This is why legends grow around it, because it speaks to something deep in human psychology, our awareness of our own hidden depths, our recognition that we are more than we consciously know, that we contain multitudes, that we have our own internal portals to other realms of being. The damned that dwell in the well are the aspects of ourselves we have denied, the parts we have rejected, the feelings we have refused to feel, the thoughts we have refused to think. They are damned because we have condemned them. We have cast them into darkness. But they remain. They do not go away just because we refuse to acknowledge them. They wait in the depths. They call to us from the darkness. They long to be integrated, to be accepted, to be brought back into the wholeness of who we are. This is the real work of the portal. Not to trap us in eternal suffering, but to challenge us to face what we have refused to face, to embrace what we have rejected, to make whole what we have fragmented. The well invites us to this work. It does not force, it does not demand, it simply stands there, patient and present, waiting for us to be ready, waiting for us to gather our courage, waiting for us to look into the darkness. And when we do look, we find that the darkness is not as frightening as we feared. We find that our depths contain not only demons but also gifts, not only pain but also power, not only wounds but also wisdom. The darkness is rich and fertile. It is the source of creativity and strength. It is where transformation happens, where old forms die and new forms are born. This is the secret of the well. This is the truth beneath the legend. The portal does not lead to hell. It leads to wholeness. It leads to integration. It leads to becoming more fully yourself. This is a challenging journey. It requires courage and honesty and persistence. But it is also a rewarding journey. Because at the end of it, you are more alive, more aware, more complete. You continue to sleep, deeply and peacefully. Your dreams take you where you need to go. They show you what you need to see. They teach you what you need to learn. You're doing the work even in sleep, even in unconsciousness. The process of growth and healing and becoming continues. It never stops. It is always happening, whether you're aware of it or not. The night is beginning to pale now. The very first hints of dawn are touching the eastern sky. The stars are fading. The darkness is lifting. Soon the sun will rise. Soon the day will begin. But there is still time. Still hours before you need to wake. Still time for deep rest. Still time for dreams. Still time for the unconscious to do its work. The well greets the coming dawn, as it has greeted countless dawns before, with silence, with patience, with presence. The light will touch its stones, will illuminate the moss and lichen, will shine down into the opening, but the light will not reach the bottom. The depths will remain dark. The mystery will remain intact. This is how it should be. This is how it must be. Some things are meant to stay in darkness. Some things are meant to remain unknown. But the well is not lonely in its darkness. It is not isolated in its mystery. It is connected to everything, to the earth that holds it, to the water that may or may not fill it, to the sky above it, to the villagers who live around it, to every person who has ever stood at its edge and wondered, to you, sleeping in your bed. The well is part of the great web of existence, part of the intricate pattern of relationships that makes up reality. And you are part of that web too. Part of that pattern, you are connected to the well, to the village, to the earth and sky, to all the other dreamers sleeping around the world, to everyone who has ever lived and everyone who will ever live. You are not separate. You are not alone. You are woven into the fabric of existence. You belong here. You are part of something vast and meaningful and good. This knowledge lives in you, not always consciously, but it is there, in your depths, in your darkness, in the places the light does not reach. You carry this knowledge with you always. Even when you forget, even when you feel lost or afraid or confused, the knowledge remains, the connection remains, the belonging remains. Sleep holds you gently, cradles you in its dark embrace, lets you rest completely, lets you release everything you carry, everything you worry about, everything you try to control. In sleep you are freed from all that. In sleep you simply are. Nothing more, nothing less. Just being, just breathing, just existing. This is enough. This is perfect. This is exactly what is needed. The well knows about this kind of being, this kind of simple existence. The well does not try to be anything other than what it is. It does not aspire or strive or struggle. It simply exists. It fulfills its nature. It allows itself to be what it is: stone and darkness, depth and mystery, presence and patience, nothing more. Nothing less. And in that simplicity there is perfection. Perhaps this is the final lesson of the well, the deepest teaching: to simply be what you are, to stop trying to be something else, to stop fighting against your own nature, to accept yourself fully, to embrace all parts of yourself, to live from your depths rather than just from your surface. This is true freedom. This is authentic power. This is real peace. And this is what sleep offers you each night. A chance to return to your essence, to drop the masks and roles, to stop performing and striving, to just be. For these hours of darkness, you are released from the demands of waking life. You are allowed to simply exist, to rest in your own being, to touch the depths of who you are. When you wake, you will carry something of this with you. Something of the peace and simplicity and authenticity of sleep. It may not last long. The demands of the day may quickly pull you back into doing rather than being, but the memory will remain, the possibility will remain, and perhaps over time you will learn to access that state even while awake, to live from that place of simple being, to carry the wisdom of the well into your daily life. This is the real transformation that the portal offers, not a journey to another place, but a shift in how you inhabit this place, how you live in your own life, how you relate to yourself and others and the world. The portal leads you deeper into your own existence, into greater presence, into fuller awareness, into authentic being. The well stands as a reminder of this possibility, a marker pointing toward depths, a sign indicating mystery, a symbol suggesting that there is more to life than what appears on the surface. The well invites you to explore, to descend, to discover what lies beneath, not with fear, but with curiosity, with courage, with trust that whatever you find will be exactly what you need. You sleep on, peaceful and still, the night holds you, the darkness embraces you, the silence surrounds you. And in this holding, this embracing, this surrounding, you're deeply nourished, you're profoundly restored, you're completely renewed. Sleep is doing its miraculous work, and when you wake, you will be ready, ready for a new day, ready for new experiences, ready for whatever comes next. The well waits in the village square, patient as always, present as always, ready to receive anyone who comes, ready to reflect back their depths, ready to invite them into mystery. The well has time, all the time in the world. It is not going anywhere. It will be there today and tomorrow and the day after that, and on, through seasons and years, through generations, through all the changes that time brings. This is comforting somehow. To know that some things persist, some things endure, some things remain constant even as everything else changes. The well is such a thing, a fixed point in a changing world, an anchor, a reference, a place you can return to again and again, and each time you return it will be the same, yet you will be different. You will bring new eyes, new questions, new understanding, and the well will reflect these back to you, will show you how you have grown, how you have changed, how you have become more fully yourself. The legend of the well as a portal for the damned takes on new meaning now, in the quiet of this night, in the peace of your sleep, in the stillness of this moment. The damned are not evil beings to be feared. They are lost parts of ourselves to be reclaimed. The portal is not a trap but an invitation, a challenge, an opportunity to become whole, to integrate our shadows, to embrace our depths, to live more authentically and completely. This is the gift the well offers. This is the treasure hidden in the darkness, not gold or jewels, but self-knowledge, self-acceptance, self-integration. These are the riches that matter. These are the treasures worth seeking, and they cannot be found on the surface. They cannot be discovered in the light. They can only be found in the depths, in the darkness, in the places we are afraid to go. But we do not have to go alone. The well goes with us. The well shows us the way. The well assures us that it is safe to descend, that we will not be lost, that we will find our way back. The well is both the destination and the journey, both the question and the answer, both the mystery and the revelation. You breathe deeply in your sleep, each breath carrying you deeper, each exhalation releasing you more completely. You're sinking into profound rest, into the deepest layers of sleep, into the place where healing happens, where integration occurs, where transformation unfolds. This is the magic of sleep, the miracle of rest, the gift of darkness, and the well mirrors this process. Just as you sink into sleep, so too can you sink into the depths of the well. Just as you trust sleep to restore you, so too can you trust the well to guide you. Just as you surrender to unconsciousness, so too can you surrender to the mystery. The processes are the same. The trust required is the same. The surrender demanded is the same. Sleep teaches us how to approach the well, how to enter the portal without fear, without resistance, with openness, with trust, with willingness to let go of control, to allow something larger than our conscious will to guide us, to accept that we do not always need to know where we are going, that sometimes the destination will reveal itself only when we arrive. The well respects this trust. The well honors this surrender. The well receives all who come with openness and curiosity. The well does not judge, does not condemn, does not reject. The well simply accepts, simply holds, simply is. This is its nature. This is its gift. This is what it offers to anyone brave enough to approach. And bravery does not mean being without fear. Bravery means acting despite fear. Bravery means acknowledging fear and choosing to move forward anyway. Everyone who comes to the well brings some fear. This is natural. This is human. This is expected. The well does not ask you to be fearless. The well only asks you to be willing. Willing to look, willing to wonder, willing to explore. You embody this willingness in your sleep. You have surrendered to the night. You have released your grip on consciousness. You have allowed yourself to fall into the unknown. This takes courage. Even though you do it every night, even though it is familiar, there is always a small act of trust involved in letting go, in allowing sleep to take you. You trust that you will wake again, that you will return from the darkness, that you will be restored rather than diminished, and you are right to trust. Every morning you wake, every day you return, every time you emerge from sleep you are renewed. The trust is rewarded, the faith is justified, the surrender leads to restoration. This is the pattern, this is the rhythm, this is the way it works. The same is true of the well. Those who approach it with trust are rewarded. Those who surrender to its mystery are guided. Those who descend into its depths emerge transformed. The well keeps its promises. The portal delivers what it offers. The journey is challenging but worthwhile. The destination is worth the risk. The sky is definitely lighter now. Dawn is approaching. The eastern horizon glows with pre-sunrise light. The stars have faded completely. The darkness is giving way, but the night has not yet ended. There is still time, still space, still silence. The transition between night and day is gradual, gentle. There is no sudden shift, only a slow, steady brightening, a patient unfolding, a natural progression. You sense this somehow in your sleep. Some deep part of you knows that morning is coming. Your body begins preparing. Your sleep becomes lighter. Your dreams shift. You're beginning the journey back, beginning the ascent from the depths, beginning the return to consciousness. But there is no rush, no urgency. Your body knows the timing. Your system knows the rhythm. You will wake when you are ready, not before. The well feels the coming dawn too, not consciously. The well has no consciousness, no awareness, no mind. But still, something in the well shifts with the changing light. The stones sense the warming air. The darkness within feels the light approaching above. The well exists in relationship to the cycle of day and night. It is affected by the sun even though the sun does not reach its depths. Everything is connected. Everything influences everything else. Nothing exists in isolation. This is a fundamental truth, one that the well teaches simply by existing, by being part of the village, part of the landscape, part of the ecosystem. The well is not separate from the world around it. It is embedded in that world, shaped by that world, shaping that world in return. This is how all things exist, in relationship, in connection, in mutual influence. And you exist this way too, in relationship to everything around you, the bed you sleep in, the room that holds you, the house that shelters you, the village that surrounds you, the earth beneath, the sky above. You're connected to all of it, part of all of it, influenced by all of it, and influencing all of it in return. Your existence matters. Your presence makes a difference. You're woven into the pattern. You belong. Sleep has taught you this tonight. Not through words, not through concepts, but through direct experience, through the feeling of being held, of being supported, of being part of something larger. Sleep connects you to all other sleeping beings, all other dreamers, all other consciousness exploring the depths of unconsciousness. You're not alone in this. You share this with billions. You're part of a vast communion. The well represents this communion, this connection, this shared experience of depth and mystery. Everyone who comes to the well adds something to it. Everyone who looks into it sees something unique. Everyone who ponders it contributes to its legend. The well becomes a collective creation, a shared symbol, a communal myth. It belongs to everyone and to no one. It is individual and universal simultaneously. This is the paradox at the heart of all meaningful symbols. They are both personal and collective, both unique and universal, both specific and archetypal. The well is this particular well in this particular village, with its own specific history and characteristics. But it is also every well. It represents all wells. It embodies the archetype of the well, the deep hole, the source of water, the portal to the underworld, the connection to depths. You carry this symbol within you now. Even in sleep, especially in sleep, the well has entered your imagination. It has taken root in your unconscious. It will remain there, growing, developing, revealing new meanings over time. This is what happens when we truly encounter a powerful symbol. It does not stay external. It becomes internal. It becomes part of our inner landscape, part of our psyche. When you wake, you may not consciously remember the well. You may not think about it explicitly, but it will be there, working in the background, influencing your thoughts and feelings, shaping your perceptions, guiding your understanding. This is how symbols function, not through conscious thought, but through subtle influence, through unconscious processing, through the slow transformation of understanding that happens beneath awareness. The first birds are beginning to sing. Their voices are tentative at first, testing, uncertain, but gradually growing stronger, more confident, more insistent. The dawn chorus is beginning, this ancient ritual, this daily celebration, this announcement that night is ending and day is beginning. The birds know their role. They perform it faithfully, every morning, every dawn, without fail. You stir slightly in your sleep. The sound of the birds penetrates your consciousness just enough to create a shift. You are rising now, rising from the depths, rising toward waking. The journey is almost complete. The night is almost over. Soon you will open your eyes. Soon you will return to the waking world. Soon you will begin a new day, but not quite yet. There is still a little more time, a few more minutes of rest, a final period of restoration. Your body is using these last moments well, finishing its work, completing its healing, preparing you for waking. Everything happens in its own time, according to its own rhythm. There is no forcing, no rushing, just natural unfolding. The light touches the stones of the well. The first rays of sun find their way to the village square. The well emerges from complete darkness into dawn light. The stones glow softly. The moss becomes visible. The details that were hidden in night become apparent in day. The well transforms, yet remains the same. It is still the well, still the deep hole, still the mystery. But now illuminated, now revealed, now visible. This too is part of the cycle, part of the rhythm, part of the dance between darkness and light. Both are necessary, both are valuable, both reveal different aspects of reality. In darkness, we see one truth. In light, we see another. Neither is more real than the other. Both are partial, both are incomplete. Together, they form a whole. Together, they show us the full picture. You are like the well in this way. You have your darkness and your light, your hidden depths and your visible surface, your nighttime self and your daytime self. Both are you. Both are real. Both are important. You need both to be fully human, to be complete, to be whole. The darkness is not to be feared or rejected. It is to be honored and integrated. It is part of the totality of who you are. Sleep has given you access to your darkness, to your depths, to your unconscious self. Now waking will return you to your light, to your surface, to your conscious self. Both journeys are necessary. Both states are valuable. Both experiences are essential. You move between them every day, every night, in an endless cycle, in a constant rhythm, in a perpetual dance. The well witnesses this dance, has witnessed it in countless humans over countless years, has seen people wake and sleep, live and die, come and go. The well knows the pattern, understands the rhythm, accepts the cycle. The well does not struggle against it, does not resist it, does not wish things were different. The well simply allows, simply accepts, simply is. This is wisdom, deep wisdom, the wisdom of stone and earth, the wisdom of things that endure, the wisdom of presence and patience, to simply be what you are, to accept what is, to allow the cycle to unfold, to trust the rhythm, to surrender to the dance. This is not passivity. This is not weakness. This is profound strength. This is true power. This is authentic wisdom. You're learning this wisdom through sleep, through rest, through surrender, through your encounter with the well. The lessons are sinking in, not intellectually, but viscerally, in your bones, in your body, in your deep knowing. You are changing, growing, becoming. The transformation is subtle, gradual, almost imperceptible, but it is real. It is happening. You are not the same person who lay down to sleep. You have been touched by mystery. You have been changed by depth. You have been transformed by darkness. When you wake, you will carry this with you. Perhaps not consciously, perhaps not explicitly, but it will be there. In how you move, in how you see, in how you experience the world, something has shifted, something has opened, something has deepened, and this will affect everything, will color all your experiences, will shape all your perceptions, will guide all your choices. This is the gift of the night, the blessing of sleep, the grace of rest. You have received it fully. You have allowed it completely. You have surrendered totally, and now you're ready. Ready to wake, ready to return, ready to begin again. Your eyes flutter, not quite opening yet, but close, very close. Your breathing changes, becomes less deep, more wakeful. Your body stretches slightly, Muscles engaging, joints moving, life returning to full consciousness. The transition is happening, the crossing is occurring, the portal is opening in reverse. You're ascending from the depths, emerging from the darkness, returning to the light, and the well remains, in the village square, bathed now in morning light, present and patient as always, waiting for the next person to approach. Ready to reflect their depths, prepared to invite them into mystery. The well has all the time in the world. The well can wait forever. The well will be here long after you are gone, long after everyone you know is gone, long after this village is forgotten. The well endures. This thought brings a strange comfort as you wake. The idea that something persists, that something remains, that something endures. In a world of constant change, the well is stable. In a life of uncertainty, the well is certain. In an existence of impermanence, the well is permanent, or as permanent as anything can be. And this is enough. This is sufficient. This is valuable beyond measure. Your eyes open, slowly, gently. The room comes into focus. The window, the door, the simple furniture. Everything is as it was, unchanged, familiar, safe. You are back. You have returned. The night is over. The day has begun. You have completed the cycle once more. You have made the journey again. You have survived another encounter with darkness and depth and mystery, and you are richer for it. You are fuller. You are more yourself. Every night teaches you something. Every sleep reveals something. Every rest restores something. You are accumulating wisdom, gathering experience, building understanding, slowly, gradually, one night at a time, one sleep at a time, one dream at a time. You think of the well, still there in the square. You will visit it again, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, perhaps someday soon. You will sit on its edge again. You will look into its darkness again. You will ponder its mystery again. And each time you will see something new. Each time you will understand something different. Each time you will go deeper, because the well is inexhaustible. Its depths cannot be plumbed. Its mystery cannot be solved. Its secrets cannot all be revealed. There is always more, always deeper, always further to go. This is what makes it a true portal, not because it leads somewhere else, but because it leads somewhere more depth, more mystery, more truth, more reality, more life. And this is the final gift of the legend, the ultimate teaching of the story. That depth exists, that mystery is real, that there is always more than meets the eye, that beneath the surface profound truths wait, that in the darkness light can be found, that in the depths treasures lie hidden, that in the unknown knowledge waits to be discovered. The well reminds you of this, every time you see it. Every time you think of it, every time you remember it, the well is a teacher, a guide, a companion on the journey. The well does not have all the answers, but it knows all the questions, and sometimes knowing the right questions is more important than having the right answers. You sit up in bed, fully awake now, fully present, fully here. The night is behind you. The day is ahead. You are poised between them, in this liminal moment, this threshold time, this portal space, and you are ready. Ready for whatever comes, ready for whatever you will discover, ready for the next part of the journey. The legend of the well continues. The story goes on. New chapters are being written, new meanings are emerging, new understandings are developing. You are part of this ongoing story, part of this living legend, part of this evolving myth. Your experience adds to it. Your understanding enriches it. Your telling perpetuates it. And so the well lives, not just as stone and darkness, but as story and meaning, as symbol and teaching, as mystery and invitation. The well lives in the minds and hearts of all who encounter it, all who wonder about it, all who are touched by its legend. The well is immortal in this way, not because the physical structure will last forever, but because the story will continue, because the meaning will endure, because the mystery will persist. How the old well became a portal for the damned. This was the title. This was the question. And perhaps now you understand. Perhaps now you see. The well became a portal because people made it one, through their stories, through their beliefs, through their need for mystery and meaning. The well became a portal because humans need portals, need doorways to depths, need passages to the unknown, need invitations to explore what lies beneath. The damned are us, all of us, in our incompleteness, in our fragmentation, in our refusal to face our depths. We are the damned when we reject parts of ourselves, when we deny our shadows, when we refuse the journey inward. But we can be redeemed, we can be freed, we can be made whole by accepting the invitation, by approaching the well, by looking into the darkness, by descending into the depths. This is the true story, the real legend, the deep teaching, and it is yours now, to carry forward, to contemplate, to share. The well has given you this gift, this knowledge, this understanding. What you do with it is up to you. How you use it is your choice. Where it leads you is your journey. But wherever you go, whatever you do, however your life unfolds, the well will be with you, in your memory, in your imagination, in your depths. The well has become part of you, and you have become part of the well. This is the nature of true encounter, of genuine experience, of authentic meeting. We are changed by what we truly encounter. We carry it with us forever. So rise now, stand up, move into your day, but carry the night with you, carry the sleep with you, carry the dream with you, carry the well with you. Let it inform your actions. Let it shape your choices. Let it guide your path. You have been given a gift, a treasure, a teaching. Honor it, use it, share it, and know that the well will be there, always, waiting, patient, present, ready to receive you again. Ready to reflect your depths again, ready to invite you into mystery again. The well is eternal. The well is constant. The well is home. This is the legend. This is the story. This is the truth. How the old well became a portal for the damned, and how the damned, by passing through the portal, became whole, became free, became themselves. This is the mystery at the heart of the well. This is the secret hidden in the darkness. This is the gift offered to all who approach. May you receive it. May you use it. May you be blessed by it. May you find your way to the well. May you have the courage to look into the darkness. May you discover the treasures that wait in the depths. May you emerge transformed. May you become whole. May you be free. The well waits. The well welcomes. The well holds. Go now. Live now. Be now. And return when you're ready. The well will be there. The well is always there. The well is forever. Rest now. Peace now. Wholeness now. The journey continues. The story goes on. The legend lives. In you. Through you. As you. This is the way. This is the truth. This is the path. Walk it with courage. Walk it with trust. Walk it with love. The end is the beginning. The darkness is the light. The depth is the height. All is one. All is well. All is as it should be. Sleep in this knowing. Wake in this truth. Live in this reality. You are held. You are loved. You are whole. The well knows. The well remembers. The well keeps. Your story. Your truth. Your essence. Safe in the depths. Safe in the darkness. Safe in the mystery. You are safe. You are home. You are free. This is the final word, the last teaching, the ultimate truth. Be, simply be. Fully be, completely be, in darkness and light, in depth and height, in mystery and clarity. Be. This is enough. This is all. This is everything. The well is. You are. All is. Rest in this. Trust in this. Live in this. Now and forever. Always and eternal, here and everywhere. The well, the portal, the home, the truth, the way, the life, all one, all whole, all well, all is well, all is well, all is well. You rise from the bed slowly. Your movements are gentle and unhurried. There is no alarm clock demanding your attention, no schedule forcing you to rush. You have time, all the time you need. This morning is yours, this day is yours. You can move at your own pace. You can follow your own rhythm. You can be guided by your own inner timing. You stand beside the bed for a moment. You feel your feet on the floor. You feel the weight of your body. You feel the pull of gravity holding you to the earth. These sensations are grounding. They remind you that you are physical, that you have a body, that you exist in space and time. This is good. This is important. This is real. You stretch your arms above your head. You feel your spine lengthen. You feel your muscles wake up. You feel energy beginning to flow through your limbs. Your body is preparing for the day. Your system is activating. Your organism is coming fully online. This happens naturally, without effort, without thought. Your body knows what to do. Your body has done this countless times. Your body is wise in its own way. You move to the window. You look out at the village. The sun is fully up now. Light floods the world. Everything is visible. Everything is clear. The houses, the trees, the paths, the people beginning to emerge from their homes. The village is waking. Life is resuming. The day is beginning its cycle. And there, in the village square, you can see the well. Even from this distance, even through the window, the well is visible, unmistakable. It sits in its usual place, exactly where it has always been, exactly where it will always be. The morning light touches its stones, makes them glow softly, makes them look warm and inviting. The well appears peaceful, benign, just an old structure, just a pile of stones, nothing frightening, nothing ominous, just a well. But you know different. You know what the well represents. You understand what it means. You have spent time with it. You have sat on its edge. You have looked into its darkness. You have pondered its mystery. The well is not just a well to you anymore. It is more than that. It is a symbol, a teacher, a portal, a doorway to depths. You carry a relationship with the well now. You have history together. You have shared something, even if the well is just stone and darkness, even if it has no consciousness, even if it cannot know you. Still, the relationship exists. Still, the connection is real. Still, the bond has formed. You feel drawn to visit the well this morning, to return to it, to see it in daylight, to experience it in a different state. Last night you were there in darkness, in the quiet of evening and night. Now you want to see it in light, in the activity of morning and day. You want to understand how it changes, or how it stays the same. You want to complete the cycle, to experience both aspects, to know the well in all its phases. You turn from the window, you prepare yourself for going out, you splash water on your face, you straighten your clothes, you run your fingers through your hair. These are small rituals, morning habits, ways of transitioning from sleep to waking, from private to public, from interior to exterior. You're making yourself ready, not for anyone else, but for yourself, for your own sense of order and propriety, for your own comfort and confidence. When you're ready, you leave your room. You move through the house quietly. You do not want to disturb anyone who might still be sleeping. You're respectful of others' rest, aware of their needs, considerate of their space. You make your way to the door, you open it carefully, you step outside. The morning air greets you, cool and fresh, carrying the scent of dew and grass, carrying the promise of a new day, carrying the potential for new experiences. You close the door behind you. You stand on the threshold for a moment. You take a deep breath. You fill your lungs with morning air. You feel it energize you. You feel it wake you more fully. You feel it connect you to the day, to the world, to the life that is happening all around you. You are here. You are present. You are alive. This is good. This is enough. This is everything. You begin walking toward the village square, toward the well. Your steps are steady and purposeful, not rushed but not hesitant. You know where you're going. You know what you want to do. There is clarity in this. There is simplicity. There is satisfaction. When you know your purpose, even if it is a small purpose, even if it is just to visit an old well, there is meaning. There is direction. There is focus. The village is coming alive around you. You pass people beginning their daily routines. A woman sweeps her doorstep. A man tends to his garden. Children play in a yard. A dog barks in the distance. These are the ordinary sounds and sights of morning, the mundane details of daily life. But they are not without beauty. They are not without significance. This is life happening. This is existence unfolding. This is the great miracle of being. And you are part of it. You are woven into it. You belong to it. People nod to you as you pass. Some offer greetings. Good morning. Nice day. How are you? Simple exchanges, brief connections, small acknowledgements of shared humanity. You respond in kind. You return the greetings. You offer your own smiles and nods. These interactions are brief but meaningful. They remind you that you are not alone, that you are part of a community, that you share this space with others, that you are all in this together, whatever this is, whatever life means, whatever existence requires. You're doing it together. You reach the village square. You see the well clearly now, in full daylight, with no shadows to obscure it, with no darkness to hide it. The well looks different in this light, more solid somehow, more real, more ordinary. The mystery that surrounded it at night seems to have faded. The sense of strangeness has diminished. It looks like what it is, an old stone structure, weathered and worn, covered in moss and age, just a well. But as you approach it, something of the mystery returns, something of the depth reasserts itself. The well may look ordinary, but it still feels significant. It still carries weight, it still commands attention. There is still something about it that draws you, that fascinates you, that invites contemplation. The daylight has not dispelled the magic, it has only changed it, made it quieter perhaps, more subtle, but still present, still real, still powerful. You reach the well, you stand beside it, you look at the stones in daylight, you can see details you could not see at night. The different colours in the stones, the patterns of lichen growth, the places where the mortar has crumbled, the cracks and crevices, the texture and grain. Each stone is unique, each has its own character, each contributes to the whole. Together they form the well, together they create the structure, together they hold the space. You place your hand on the stones again. They are cool even in the morning sun. They hold the coolness of night. They retain the temperature of darkness. It will take hours of sunlight to warm them fully. Stone changes slowly. Stone responds gradually. Stone has its own time, its own pace, its own rhythm. This is part of why stone endures, why it lasts, why it outlives other materials. Stone is patient. Stone is stable. Stone is strong. You lean over the edge and look down into the well. In daylight, you can see more than you could at night. Not the bottom, that is still hidden in darkness, still shrouded in shadow, still mysterious and unknown, but you can see further down. You can see more of the shaft. You can see the stones that line the interior. You can see how they fit together, how they create a smooth surface, how they descend into darkness. The craftsmanship is impressive. The skill is evident. The care is obvious. Whoever built this well knew what they were doing. They understood stone. They understood structure. They understood how to create something that would last, something that would serve its purpose, something that would endure. This well has stood for centuries. It has weathered storms and seasons. It has survived wars and peace. It has outlasted generations, and it stands still solid, still intact, still present. This is a testament to the builders, to their skill, to their vision, to their dedication. You wonder about them again. The people who built this well. Who were they? What were their names? What were their lives like? Did they know they were creating something that would last so long? Did they imagine people would still be looking at their work hundreds of years later? Did they think about the future at all? Or were they simply focused on the task at hand, on solving the immediate problem, on creating something useful for their community? Probably the latter. Probably they were just doing their job, using their skills, earning their living. They could not have known that their work would become legendary, that stories would grow around it, that people would wonder and speculate and theorize about this simple structure. They just built a well. They did their work. They moved on. But their work remains, and because it remains, it accumulates meaning. It gathers stories. It becomes more than it was intended to be. This is often how things become sacred, not through intention, but through time, through persistence, through the accumulation of human attention and meaning. A place becomes sacred because people treat it as sacred, because they approach it with reverence, because they invest it with significance. The well was not built to be a portal for the damned. It was built to provide water, but over time it became something else, something more, something mysterious. And now it serves a different purpose, not practical but spiritual, not physical but psychological, not external but internal. You sit down on the edge of the well again, in the same spot you sat last night. The stone is familiar now. Your body remembers the feel of it. Your muscles know how to arrange themselves. Sitting here feels natural, comfortable, right. This is becoming a ritual, a pattern, a habit. You have sat here twice now, last night and this morning. If you continue to visit the well, if you continue to sit in this spot, it will become your place, your position, your vantage point. This particular section of the well's edge will be associated with you, will hold your energy, will remember your presence. Places remember us, not literally perhaps, not consciously, but in some way the places we frequent absorb something of us. They hold traces of our being, they carry echoes of our presence. This is why certain places feel significant to us, why we return to them, why they matter. We have left something of ourselves there. We have invested them with our attention, our emotion, our experience, and in return they give something back to us. They offer stability, continuity, connection. They remind us of who we are, who we have been, who we might become. The well is becoming such a place for you. You have been here twice, but already it feels important. Already it feels meaningful. Already you can sense that this place will stay with you, that you will carry it in your memory, that it will influence you, shape you, change you. This is the power of place, the impact of location, the significance of space. We are not separate from the places we inhabit. We are shaped by them, moulded by them, formed by them, and we shape them in return. We leave our mark, we make our contribution, we add our story to the accumulated stories of the place. You look around the village square. From this vantage point you can see much of the village, the houses surrounding the square, the streets leading off in different directions, the trees providing shade, the open space in the centre where the well sits. This is the heart of the village, the centre, the focal point. Villages often organise themselves around a central feature. A well, a church, a market, a town hall, something that everyone shares, something that belongs to the community, something that creates cohesion, connection, unity. The well served this purpose once, when it was actively used. People would gather here, would meet here, would talk here. The well would have been a social hub, a gathering place, a community centre. People would share news and gossip, would exchange information, would build relationships. The well facilitated connection, not just to water, but to each other. It brought people together, created community, built bonds. Now the well no longer serves that practical purpose. People no longer come here to draw water. They have other sources, more convenient sources, more modern sources. The well has been superseded. Made obsolete, rendered unnecessary, but it still serves a purpose, a different purpose. It still brings people to this spot, still creates opportunities for connection, still facilitates community, not through practical need, but through mystery, through story, through legend. People come to see the well, to wonder about it, to contemplate it, and in doing so they still gather, still meet, still connect. You notice a few people passing through the square. They glance at you sitting on the well. Some look curious, some look wary, some show no particular reaction. You wonder what they think, what they assume. Why do they think you are sitting here? What story do they tell themselves about you? Are you a visitor, a tourist, someone drawn by the legend? Or are you simply someone who finds the well peaceful, someone who enjoys sitting here? Someone who appreciates the view? You realize you do not know if the villagers believe the legend. Do they think the well is actually a portal for the damned? Or do they see it as just a story? An old tale with no basis in reality? A bit of folklore that adds colour to their village history? Different people probably have different views. Some may be superstitious, may avoid the well, may warn their children away from it. Others may be sceptical, may dismiss the legend as nonsense, may see the well as just an old structure. Still others may hold a middle position, may not believe literally, but may sense something, may feel the atmosphere, may acknowledge the mystery without committing to the supernatural. This variation in belief is natural, healthy, human. We all interpret the world differently. We all make sense of things in our own ways. We all find meaning through our own lenses. There is no single truth, no one interpretation, no correct understanding. There are only perspectives, views, opinions, each partial, each limited, each shaped by personal experience and cultural context and individual psychology. The well means different things to different people, and all of those meanings are valid. All are real. All contribute to the richness of the place. You wonder what the well would say if it could speak. How would it describe itself? What would it claim to be? Would it insist it is just stone and darkness, just a structure, just a hole, nothing more? Or would it acknowledge the mystery, the legend, the accumulated meanings? Would it accept the role people have assigned to it, or would it resist? Would it protest that people have made too much of it, that they have projected onto it, that they have created stories that have nothing to do with what it actually is? Of course, the well cannot speak. The well has no voice, no opinion, no perspective. The well simply is. It exists without commentary, without interpretation, without meaning-making. The well is pure being, pure presence, pure existence. All the stories, all the meanings, all the interpretations come from outside the well, from people, from human consciousness, from the eternal human need to make sense of things, to create narratives, to find significance. And this is beautiful in its own way. This human capacity, this irrepressible creativity, this constant meaning-making. We cannot help ourselves. We see a deep hole and we imagine depths. We encounter darkness and we populate it with mysteries. We experience the unknown and we create stories to explain it. This is what makes us human. This is what distinguishes us. Not just consciousness, but narrative consciousness, story-making consciousness, meaning-creating consciousness. The sun is climbing higher, the day is warming, the coolness of morning is giving way to the heat of midday. You can feel the change, the subtle shift in temperature, the different quality of light, the altered feeling in the air. Time is passing, the day is progressing, the world is moving through its cycles, and you are moving with it, part of it, participating in it, subject to it. You think about what you want to do today. Do you have plans, obligations, things you must accomplish, or is your time your own? Can you spend the day as you wish? Can you follow your inclinations? Can you let the day unfold naturally? You realize you're not sure. You cannot remember what you're supposed to be doing, what your responsibilities are, what demands are waiting for you. This feels strange, but also liberating. For this moment at least, you are free. You are here, you're sitting on this well. Nothing else is pressing, nothing else is urgent. This is enough. You decide to stay a while longer, to sit here, to be here, to simply exist in this spot. There is no rush, no need to move on, no requirement to be productive or purposeful. You can just be, just sit, just breathe. This is a gift, a luxury, a grace. So many people rush through their days, never stopping, never pausing, never simply being, always doing, always moving, always accomplishing. But what is the point of all that doing if you never take time to be, to exist, to experience yourself and the world around you? The well teaches stillness, teaches presence, teaches being. The well does not do anything, it simply is. And in that simple being, it serves its deepest purpose. It becomes a reference point, a reminder, an invitation to stop, to pause, to be still, to rest in existence rather than always striving and struggling and working. This is wisdom, ancient wisdom, the wisdom of stone and earth, the wisdom of things that endure by simply being rather than by constantly doing. You close your eyes, you turn your face toward the sun, you feel the warmth on your skin, you feel the light through your eyelids, you feel the gentle pressure of sunshine. This is pleasant, this is good, this is life-giving. The sun is essential. Without the sun, nothing would exist. No life, no warmth, no light, no energy. Everything depends on the sun. We are all children of the sun in some deep sense. We are all sustained by its radiation, its warmth, its light. We are all connected to it, part of its system, subject to its influence. Yet the well reminds us of darkness, of depths beyond the sun's reach, of places light does not penetrate. Both are necessary. Both are real. We need the sun, but we also need the darkness. We need light, but we also need shadow. We need day, but we also need night. Balance, equilibrium, the dance of opposites. This is the fundamental pattern of existence. Light and dark, up and down, in and out, birth and death, growth and decay, all in endless cycle, all in perpetual motion, all in dynamic balance, you open your eyes again. You look once more at the well. You're starting to understand something important, something fundamental. The well is not just about the damned. It is not just about darkness and mystery and fear. It is also about balance, about the necessity of darkness, about the value of depth, about the wisdom of descent. We cannot live only in the light, only on the surface, only in the known. We must also visit the darkness, must also explore the depths, must also encounter the unknown. This is how we become whole. This is how we become complete. This is how we become fully human. The portal the legend speaks of is real, but it is not supernatural. It is psychological. It is the doorway to our own depths, to our own darkness, to our own unknown territories, and the damned are the parts of ourselves we have cast into those depths. The rejected aspects, the denied feelings, the refused experiences, they wait in the darkness, they call from the depths, they seek to be acknowledged, to be integrated, to be brought back into the wholeness of who we are. This is the work the well invites us to do. Not easy work, not comfortable work, but essential work. The work of self-knowledge, self-acceptance, self-integration, the work of becoming whole, the work of healing our fragmentation, the work of embracing all of who we are, light and dark, good and bad, strength and weakness, beauty and ugliness, all of it, every part, every aspect, every dimension. This is what it means to be fully human, to accept the totality of what we are, to embrace the fullness of our being, to integrate all the parts we have split off and denied. The well sits patiently, offering its silent teaching, making its wordless invitation, presenting its timeless wisdom. The well does not push, does not demand, does not insist. The well simply is, simply exists, simply waits. And in that waiting, in that patience, in that presence, it offers everything. It offers the opportunity for transformation, for healing, for wholeness. But only if we are willing, only if we are ready, only if we have the courage to approach, to look, to descend. You feel grateful to the well, grateful for its presence, grateful for its teaching, grateful for the opportunity to sit here, to contemplate, to understand. This old structure has given you something valuable, something precious, something you will carry with you, not just information, not just ideas, but experience, direct encounter, lived wisdom. This is what matters. This is what changes us. Not concepts we learn, but experiences we have. Not theories we understand, but realities we encounter. You place both hands on the stone. You feel the coolness, the solidity, the reality. You send your awareness through your hands into the stone, into the well, into the structure. You imagine your consciousness descending into the darkness, going down, 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 into the depths, into the unknown, into the mystery. And as you descend in imagination, you feel something shift, something open, something release. You are touching your own depths, your own darkness, your own unknown territories, and you are finding that they are not as frightening as you feared, not as dangerous as you imagined, not as threatening as you believed. In fact, there is treasure here. There is wisdom. There is power. There are gifts you left behind, capacities you abandoned, strengths you rejected, all waiting in the darkness, all preserved in the depths, all ready to be reclaimed. The darkness is not empty. The depths are not void. The unknown is not nothing. They are full, rich, abundant, teeming with life, with possibility, with potential. You just have to be willing to look, to explore, to descend. This is the revelation the well offers. This is the truth it guards. This is the secret it protects. The darkness is not to be feared. The depths are not to be avoided. The unknown is not to be shunned. They are to be explored, embraced, integrated. They are part of who you are, part of what you are, part of the totality of your being. To reject them is to reject yourself. To deny them is to deny yourself. To avoid them is to avoid yourself. And that way lies fragmentation, lies incompleteness, lies suffering. The well knows this, has always known this, has been teaching this to anyone who would listen, to anyone who would approach, to anyone who would sit on its edge and look into its darkness. The well is a teacher, a guide, a companion, not through words, not through explanations, but through presence, through being, through its simple, patient, enduring existence. The well teaches by example, by demonstration, by being what it is, deep, dark, unknown, yet solid, real, present, available, approachable, safe. You take a deep breath. You feel something settle in you, something resolve, something complete. You have learned what you came here to learn. You have received what you came here to receive. You have found what you came here to find. The well has done its work, has fulfilled its purpose, has given its gift, and you have received it, have accepted it, have integrated it. You are different now, changed, transformed, not dramatically, not obviously, but really, deeply, truly. Something has shifted in you. Something has opened. Something has healed. You stand up from the well. You stretch your body. You feel your muscles engage. You feel your spine lengthen. You feel energy flow through you. You're ready to move, ready to go, ready to continue your day. But you will carry the well with you, carry its teaching with you, carry its wisdom with you. You are not leaving it behind. You are taking it with you, into your life, into your experience, into your being. The well is part of you now, and you are part of the well, forever connected, forever linked, forever joined. You look at the well one more time, you nod to it, a gesture of respect, of gratitude, of acknowledgement. The well does not respond. It cannot respond. It is just stone, just structure, just a hole in the ground. But somehow you feel that it has received your gesture, that it has acknowledged your thanks, that it has accepted your respect. This is imagination, of course, projection. The well has no consciousness, no awareness, no capacity to receive or acknowledge anything, yet the feeling is real. The sense of connection is genuine. The experience of relationship is authentic, and that is what matters. Not whether the well actually knows you, but that you know the well, that you have formed a relationship with it, that it has become significant to you. You turn away from the well. You begin walking across the square. Back toward the village, back toward your life, back toward whatever comes next. But you are different now. You walk differently. You see differently. You experience differently. The well has changed you. Not because it has magic powers, not because it is actually a portal to another dimension, but because you allowed it to teach you, because you opened yourself to its wisdom, because you made yourself available to its influence. This is how transformation happens, not through magic, not through miracles, but through openness, through willingness, through receptivity. You pass through the village. You notice things you did not notice before. Small details, subtle textures, quiet beauties, the way light falls on a wall, the pattern of shadows on a path, the colour of flowers in a garden, the song of a bird in a tree. You're more present now, more aware, more attuned. The well has opened something in you, has awakened something, has activated something. You're seeing with new eyes, hearing with new ears, experiencing with new sensitivity. The world is the same, but you are different. And because you are different, the world appears different. This is the nature of perception. We do not see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. Change yourself and you change your world. You find yourself smiling, a quiet, gentle smile. Nothing forced, nothing artificial, just a natural expression of contentment, of peace, of satisfaction. You feel good. You feel right. You feel aligned with yourself and with the world. This is a precious feeling, a rare feeling, a feeling to be savoured and appreciated. You do not know how long it will last. Feelings are temporary. States are transient. Everything changes. Everything passes. But for now, for this moment, you feel good. And that is enough. That is sufficient. That is worthy of gratitude.